Well, exciting times for you and I, Valdez, because we are going to see if Invincible Armada can make the semifinals right now. Can they defend their title, or will it end here tonight?
That's the big question. They got one game ahead of them, and it's against a team who has already lost to a team that they beat. So Invincible Armada should be very confident coming into this game, I think.
Yeah, I think they should as well. I mean, just looking at the bans, too, when we think about Invincible Armada, and they like to play that Ringo. It was banned out in that first game, but this time, Hack banned out Petal, a hero we don't normally think of as really being top tier. Sure, Invincible Armada has played it. They played it well. They actually have their players. They have two players known for playing Petal. But are they really, when everything is going to be on the line, going to drop the Petal again?
Yeah, I don't think so.
I don't think so either.
That was not in my mind when I was thinking about that. They didn't play it last time. Maybe they feel that, Invincible Armada was planning on playing that against them, and they saw its strength in the early game. They got kind of scared. But to be honest, I don't see that as the best possible ban.
Well, especially when there are other powerful early game heroes. There's Ringo, there's Taka, there are other picks that we know Invincible Armada is very proficient at. And that is not going to be what Hack wants to take out, though. Invincible Armada will be banning Koshka, just like Beyond did in the last game.
It's a good idea. They really used that Koshka to good effect against Raid, another one of those decent teams from Group C. And so after watching it, they're like, no, we can't have that in any of our games. Not a bad ban there. Not like the Petal ban, Monte Cristo.
I mean, maybe there's some specific team composition that Hack wants to run, but I don't think Petal is a composition's kryptonite, really. Invincible Armada will be taking the stage once again, trying to punch their ticket to the semifinals. And if Invincible Armada makes it to the semifinals, they cannot play PQQ because they were from the same group, which means that Gangstars and Hunters will be playing Invincible Armada and PQQ, depending. So we'll see how that shakes out.
So both Gangstars and Hunters did not want Invincible Armada to get through because they are a very strong team. They would have much rather played against Hack or Beyond.
Well, you know what, Valdez? I wanted them to make it through because I just wanted great semifinal matches. I think any of those games, any of those possibilities, we're going to have two really good semis.
And I think these are the four best teams in Korea right now that we do have for this tournament, for sure. PQQ, Gangstars, Hunters, the two foreign teams, and of course Invincible Armada. But they still have to win this game. Let's not count Hack out just yet. The Petal ban is definitely an interesting sign of things to come, hopefully.
Really wondering what Hack has to bring. They had that, what we thought was a very specialized composition against Beyond's playstyle with the Scarf and the Box in the last game. Do they have a trick here? And there you go, insta-lock Ringo, and then we are going to see lots of locks coming in. The Celeste, the Catherine, and the Adagio for Hack. So mixing it up here.
Yeah, not going to play that Scarf this time around. Maybe they saw the strength, the real strength of Celeste last game from Forgotten War. Want to use that a bit, but Adagio going to come in.
Yeah, and we've seen them run all of these heroes in previous matches, but never this specific combination before, so we'll see how it works out for Hack, and we're still waiting here. Wine, of course, could go back to that Jewel, but I think you just go all in. Ringo, Taka, just hammer them in the early game.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea. Let's see if they're thinking about Glaive. I don't think Glaive is a great pick here. I think Catherine just overall is a better pick, or even Adagio. There it is.
And it will be the Glaive pickup. And we're going to get into perhaps our final match of the night right now. Game 3 of our wild card match. This will decide if Hack wins. We're going into another round robin. If Invincible Armada wins, they will advance to our playoff bracket and face either Hunters or Gangstars in the semifinals.
Yeah, either of those semifinals will be a big treat indeed. I'm really excited for that, but let's see if Invincible Armada can actually close this game out. The Glaive Adagio kind of jungle duo there is very strong early on. Actually, I would love to see them be a bit aggressive here.
Yeah, of course, you can set up picks very nicely, and they will have a lot of burst onto a single target with the Ringo Glaive combination once the attention mode comes down onto Ringo. So, see how that works out. Early shot here from Songho coming in, picking up a scout trap for a little bit more protection.
Yeah. You do see Wine and Rune being pretty aggressive here, not going to overdo it for now, especially early on in the game. They want to just farm up back in their jungle, but gonna place 2 scout traps pretty far forward here and just begin to slowly creep into the Hack jungle.
So Wine and Ruin just falling back right now, and no really aggression here from Songho. Of course, Ringo's one of the better heroes for lane harassment with a range on that Achilles shot and the follow-up damage you can get off of the slow. But
Songho playing very passive. I like this against the composition. If you get hit by a stun from Catherine, you're essentially dead.
yeah, you're going to get hit by that core collapse immediately afterwards. It does set up core collapse very well, considering that there is a rather long casting time on that ability from Celeste, but chaining stuns pretty easy with that combo. Phone gonna come in right now, and there goes Ruin. Core collapse actually gonna miss right there. They're able to get out. Ruin using the sprint boots to dodge the second stun, and now Wine and Ruin are here. Phone is low, Galaxy is low, but they can't quite follow up. The Ringo is still in lane, so they're going to turn onto some of the closer jungle camps instead. Songho just farming up next to his turret.
Yeah, that was pretty sick there. The 2 scout traps getting an immense amount of damage on so many of those members. I think 2 or 3 of them. And they just took way too much damage. Not a lot of them do have the early stats needed to tank a bunch of it and continue on in these team fights. And Songho just back there, he had a huge wave on the turret. So you already see it decently coming out, 600 gold. Not bad.
Yeah, definitely a nice early advantage. You can see that CS differential did grow by just a little bit, so see what Songho can do with it. He's content to just sit back right now, building up that weapon power, see what he wants to do with it. He is going to go for that quicker tension bow power spike.
Yeah, it's good he picked up the boots as well, just in case. We also did see during that fight, Songho place a very forward scout trap. So far, this focus that Hack is putting onto the lane is not paying off.
Okay, well, Invincible Armada now starting to roam pretty deep into the enemy jungle. Plex and Phone will get found out there. Songho just wants to clear out this scout trap. Going to take a little bit of damage in the process, and it's like counter jungling being done by both teams as we speak.
Yeah, just a nicely placed scout trap actually in their own back jungle by Hacks. Scouted out Rune and Wine doing that invade, so they were able to just go for the counter jungling themselves. Look at this, Invincible Armada gonna jump on the turret while Hack is out of position.
Yep, nice call there. Get some damage down onto that objective while still getting, they just got a little bit more right there. They're able to take the enemy jungle, and while Celeste was recalled and back in base, they push the wave. Get just a little bit of damage down. Ruin now coming down with the Gift of Fire. He's gotten 2. Songho has the inside track onto Hack, and that is Hack going to be losing 1 with Plex, and he's going to lose 2. Phone will fall to the afterburn coming in from Wine, and Galaxy just couldn't get there fast enough. The Ringo was able to make it through Hack's brush and collapse 3-2 in their own jungle.
Yeah, just a bit of, Galaxy I think should have been there before Songho, to be honest. Maybe just not paying attention. They didn't have the vision of Songho coming in, as you were saying, but I mean, this is what we were talking about. Ruin and Wine together, that duo, that early game Adagio Glaive, just putting on so much pressure, and Hack is beginning to falter quite a bit here early on.
Yeah, they're falling behind by a pretty significant amount. I mean, we're talking about nearly double gold right now as Songho manages to grab just substantially more CS. Nearly 20 up right now, and we're only 5 minutes into this game.
The only thing that would really make it worse would be if Invincible Armada could take another fight and then the gold mine and just put them even that far ahead. They have this giant lead without a gold mine, without a turret. It's quite impressive.
Plex gonna come in, get the slow into Songo, and they'll chain that right into a core collapse. Nice gank there, but the gold mine already being taken by Invincible Armada, and they're going to get about 200 gold each, a little bit less. And Hack can't respond, so Hack commits to the kill in lane, but Invincible Armada coming out with the overall advantage by taking the gold mine.
Oh yeah, just incredible game sense there from Ruin and Wine. They're like, oh, okay, you're dead. They're gonna commit heavily to killing you, and we're just gonna be able to have enough damage to take down that gold mine. It's just quite nice. You know, some lesser teams, maybe they're gonna try to rotate, catch some of the weaker players that they think may dive the turret for the kill, but that kill was 100%. You saw it once the slow went down, just the composition out of Hack allows them to do that.
Now Ruin gonna come in again, and he gets behind. Phone actually manages to slow him down. Meanwhile, Wine, will he be going in for the afterburn? No, Merciless Pursuit. We'll see Phone getting out. But we're in double tension bow land for Invincible Armada right now, and Hack may have an easy time itemizing against this with armor, but they're going to have to survive this part of the game first. Songo, reflex block will stop the stun.
Yeah, finally picking that up. He's going to be able to survive these early ganks much easier this time around.
Okay, and here we go. More attacks coming through, but look at this damage. Wine and Songho just all over the place, and there's the Hellfire Brew coming through. Galaxy will burn down, and there he goes. The damage over time takes him out.
Just pretty fantastic play overall from Invincible Armada. I feel like Hack, though, getting quite out of position as well, overcommitting to that kill. Once they see the reflex block, maybe they shouldn't over-engage, especially because they can't get that initial stun from Catherine to open it up.
And look at that. Phone has to be very careful right now. He has a light shield, but no armor. Meanwhile, Invincible Armada, we do see the alternating current coming down onto Plex, so he's trying to buff up his auto attacks right now out of that jungle position, but it's a lot of crystal damage. So the light shields that we see start to be constructed by Invincible Armada. Wine picking one up already, going to be quite useful.
Yeah. I mean, essentially on Hack's team, they have no big defensive items, and Plex, he's had a bit of trouble being in enough of a position, a defensive position, to stay back and not die, even with defensive items. And on Adagio with nothing, I think it's going to be very hard if he gets caught out. He's going to be burned down, especially with 2 tension bows on the other side. It's going to be pretty insane.
Well, Catherine's great for creating picks and getting that single target CC, but she doesn't offer very much peel compared to some other roamers. You look at Arden, who can really just create a massive zone, and it's not what Catherine does. Much more useful for engaging than disengaging, I'd say, generally speaking. So peeling for Celeste and Adagio, more challenging here, that's for sure.
Yeah, definitely agreeing with you there. It's going to be quite hard for Plex to really get up into the front of these fights at all. I think he's just going to try to stay back and auto-attack a bunch, I suppose, but even then, like, it's going to be hard for him to land his Gift of Fire even.
Okay, well, you can see the Hellfire Brew come up, hit 2 right there. Some heals from Plex, though. Mitigates a lot of the damage from that ability, just trying to poke them out nice and early so they have some time to just continue farming up. But man, the CS differential is just massive between Invincible Armada and Hack in this game. You look at Wine, 20 up, 30 up now between the 2 laners, Songho and Galaxy.
It's really hard. I mean, I don't know. Songho now picking up a heavy steal as well as a lucky strike, just sitting back. He's, you know, there was that one gank where they jumped on top of him, but ever since then, with that front line of Glaive and Adagio, there's just like no touching or getting near Ringo in this game.
Beyond praying that Hack will win. I don't think that's going to be likely, though. Sangha will eat the core collapse, and Galaxy has to use his boots. Otherwise, Sangha would have gotten the finisher right there.
Yeah, if Sangha just reflex blocked, he actually could have got the kill. But maybe just a bit of a mistake there.
He was saving it for later, Valdez.
I suppose. But with pushing Galaxy back, they are going to be able to seize this turret here, and it looks like they will be able to get it.
Another easy turret kill, and Invincible Armada coming through. Ruin going to get, oh man, Galaxy in the front. What an easy afterburn there to knock him out, and without that Celeste, there's not a whole lot standing between Invincible Armada and another turret.
Yeah. It's kind of interesting. No reflex block picked up by Galaxy. You essentially need that against a glaive.
I mean, he has no money.
Yeah, but I don't know. I think it's more important than picking up even more crystal power at this point, because you have to stay alive. Like, Celeste is all about that sustained damage, and if you can't even stay alive for more than 2 seconds, you at least need to be all the way in the back and not in the front, of course.
I mean, I don't know. I think that there's just such a huge lead from the Invincible Armada. I mean, we're talking about more than double gold right now. That what are the choices that can realistically be made? Phone going to try and engage, but they're going to lock down Wine. But the afterburn going to get him right back into the backline. Plex falling low, and Wine just continues to live. No turret there to deal damage, so they are just going to get another kill. 14.9 thousand gold now, 15 to 6.2K. This
nearly tripling at this point.
I mean, this is a massacre, and so much of this money, it's only a 5-kill differential. It's just been the Invincible Armada playing the map and farming so much better than Hack.
Yeah. Another sad picture of the faces of Beyond as they wait their inevitable no tiebreaker here.
Elimination.
If Hack goes down.
Well, Sorrowblade now done for Sangho, so he is hitting like a truck and prepping for that late game. Warhorn for Ruin. They've got all the tools they need to engage, and Galaxy still trying to put together another core item here after that Eve of Harvest.
Yeah. Looks like he's going to be going for the Broken Myth here. A very key item on a Celeste. But as I said before, if he's anywhere near the front, Wine is going to get on top of him.
Oh, Wine just slowly walking forward. He will get stunned, but that means that the rest of the team get engaged. There's no more peel, so an easy kill onto Celeste. I mean, they saw those cooldowns go, and immediately they pop the Warhorn and go in.
Really nicely done. 2 of the members now down, but Invincible Armada not able to finish it off. They have taken one of the minion mines, but not the other. Let's take a look at this.
I mean, there's Catherine stun, there's Celeste stun. It's over. I mean, there's no more peel, so easily able to turn onto Celeste and take her out.
Yeah. With no reflex block for the slow, gets burst down immediately. Even used her sprint boots cooldown to no effect as she was slowed. Kind of a bit of desperation, I suppose.
Yeah, there's also like a desperation solar storm that just zoomed across the map. Not sure what Galaxy was looking for there. Nobody was even low on Invincible Armada.
Yeah, kind of strange. Interesting. But at this point, the minds of Hack have to be frayed as they are this far behind. They're like, oh, maybe Kraken's up, we gotta steal it.
No, it's not even 15 minutes yet, sorry. And they were not doing Gold Miner because it has already been taken. All right, well, Phone here, caught out. Scout Trap will be triggered. He's just going to try and live through this, but Wine gets in front and takes him down. So Invincible Armada may not even need the Kraken here, but at the very least, they are going to keep putting on pressure. They have taken a minion mine.
And once that gold mine hits completion, they can just go back and nearly buy another item here and then get the Kraken. And I think there's 100% victory for Invincible Armada. Not the best way to say that, but
I mean,
basically no chance here for Hack.
It's hard to imagine, even without that Kraken in 15 seconds, that there actually is a chance for Hack. This is one of the most one-sided games we have seen. Yeah. And certainly Hack came into this wild card as the underdogs coming out of that weak group, finishing 1 and 2, and then having to sort of run the table. And We are on patch 1.7, so Kraken animation still going to result in about 50% of the Kraken damage before it can even attack, or more, you know, 2/3, whatever.
Yeah. Whatever you need there.
Glad that was changed, Valdez.
But again, this just goes back to what I was saying. Like, Invincible Armada, they took their one loss to PQQ playing Petal. And I wasn't 100% sure if that was a real pick, if they were just trying out something new that they had been practicing. But it really just did not work out. I mean, PQQ is a fantastic team, don't get me wrong, but I don't think that was Invincible Armada at their best. And now they came into the wildcard matches saying, okay, we are 100% the best team in the wildcard matches, and we're going to put on a better show. This is just...
Wine there using his sprint move to clear it out. He's going to take a lot of damage. This defense might actually hold off for a little bit, but Plex dies before he can finish channeling his ultimate. And Phone now chased off. A desperate maneuver. The great minefield of Hack will be swept out, but not before they actually kill Songho with scout traps. Wine getting low, and they're going to take out two. So, Valdez, it actually worked. I can't believe it. They killed two people with scout traps, and now they will be able to take out the Kraken eventually.
I mean, I suppose this is a legitimate strategy. If we're going for full-on passivity and defense.
Well, they got some gold out of the Kraken. That means the scout traps paid for themselves. That may be 50 gold per scout trap, and I mean, there were probably 15 there, so we're talking a pretty hefty amount of gold, about 750. But
after all, just pay off, as you said.
Kraken worth 1,200, so more than that, 1,500.
Yeah. Well, Invincible Armada not going to stop there. Going to take the other minion mine and take both jungles from here.
That bought them 30 more scout traps, Valdez, to put in their base. It's okay, the turtling.
Yeah, this is the turtle strat of Vainglory. Just got to do what you got to do when you're this far behind.
What else can you do, right? You're so far behind that this is really the only viable tactic, is to sit there and try and turtle as long as you can, because they have taken both minion mines. So you're getting a lot of golden experience from these minion waves. And so why not put down 30 scout traps? You know, whatever. They don't really have a tank. The Adagio, the closest thing they have. But Wine's, oh my jeez, Songho can't even get anywhere near this. So Invincible Armada gonna move through. They could kill Wine right now, actually. There's the Verse of Judgment. Wine gonna use Afterburn to get out of that. They're gonna move Galaxy forward. There's still a turret up though, and they're still all alive. Hellfire Brew will take out the Celeste.
Yeah, that's the first step here. Not much on the back. Plex trying to do some damage, but will go down.
Yeah, and that's all that's left is Phone now, and a million mines. Oh, oh!
Watch your step.
Oh, they're going to get one, but that's going to be it. Wine and Songho, not any mines around the backside. Phone here, he wants to save his Vein Crystal. He's going to try, but it's not going to be enough. That's it. Invincible Armada will brave the minefield, and they will make it to the semifinals here of the Vainglory International Premier League.
That was a really fun end to a very one-sided game, I have to say. They almost held on. It was actually close. And when you do have a Celeste on your team, there's still hope till the end. But unfortunately, that will mean both Hack and Beyond here on screen will be going down. They put up a decent fight. They made it this far, got their names out there, but Invincible Armada, we said, were the favorites, and they do move on.
That's huge for them, too, wanting to defend the title that they won at the Worldwide Invitational, and they will be making at least the top 4, and we will see what our matchups will be for the semifinals briefly. Remember, PQQ and Invincible Armada cannot play each other, so each of those teams will be facing Hunters and Gangstars.
It is possible that we do get a Korean finals. Once again, keep that in mind. PQQ looking insanely strong in every game they played, but I feel like the one game, again, not going to say it again, that they had against Invincible Armada was interesting, but this semifinals is going to be the real test, I feel.
Yeah, we are going to move into a best-of-3 format for that, too, so some more chance for adaptation. Our man of the match will be Wine on that glaive. Well-deserved 7-1-5 is final score line. So we are going to move into a man of the match interview next. Max will be our translator today. Jae-sung not here this evening. He will be back soon. So Max, take it over. As they set up the interview space right now, it's taking a long time. And here we go. Take it away, Max.
네, 뱅글로리 인터내셔널 프리미어리그 와일드카드전 보고
Today we played the wildcard match for the Vainglory Premier International League. It was the last chance to make it to the semifinals, and we had a very good match today. Now we have Invincible Armada here who made it to the semifinals today, and we have Wine here today. Hello. Now you got 2 wins today and made it to round of 4, and you got the ticket to the semis. How do you feel?
사실은 이게 또 굉장히 친한
Actually, they're really good friends, and all the players were really close to them. So personally, I feel a little disappointed for them, and sorry to them. But in the semis, I really want to play for them as well, so that and get a good result. Now, Invincible Armada is the defending champion, so there was a lot of expectations. But during groups, you got second place, and there was a little shaky moments. Did you ever think you guys were not gonna make it?
걱정됐어요. 왜냐면은
Honestly, we were worried a little bit, but because teams like Beyond and Hack, they're actually really good teams and strong teams. So we were very nervous and worried, but thankfully we were able to make it through.
네, 뿌듯합니다.
Do you feel proud? Yes, I do. In game 1, you played Taka, and now you played Glaive in the second game. Are you going to show that initiation during the semis as well?
항상 무적함대 하면 뭔가 좀 공격적으로
Invincible Armada, we're known for our aggressive plays,
압도하는 모습.
and we're always going to dominate our opponents with our aggression, even in the semifinals.
네, 기대해 보도록 하겠습니다. 지금 한창 4강 존추첨이 한창인 걸로 알고 있어요.
Now we're doing the drawings right now. Do you know what's going on right
제가
now?
만나고 싶은 팀은 사실
Well, I'd like to play
저희가 한번 졌었던 PQQ 팀을 만나고
the team that we lost to, PQQ.
좀 서력전을 한번
And
해보고 싶은 마음이
honestly,
있는데
I think we deserve another chance to beat them.
만날 수 있더라고요.
But looking at the groups, we can only meet them in the finals.
네, 상관없습니다.
So, but other than that, I don't care who we face. We're confident.
한 말씀 들어보도록 할게요.
Last words going into the semis.
PQQ 팀 기다리세요.
PQQ, wait for us. We'll see you.
제가 응원을 하도록 하겠습니다. 자, 오늘 무적함대 팀에게 많은 박수, 뜨거운 박수 부탁드릴게요.
Now, please, a round of applause for Invincible Armada. Back to you guys at the desk.
Thank you very much, Max. And there you have it from Wine, anticipating that they and PQQ will comprise an all-Korean final here in the first season of the Vainglory International Premier League. And here are our results from tonight.
Yeah, Invincible Armada taking out Beyond in a decent game there. Was closer than I think any of the other games. But then Beyond taking out Hack, and then Invincible Armada taking out Hack.
Really taking out that.
Yeah, they swept them out from underneath them. It was very, very one-sided. One of the most one-sided games we've had.
And here we go. Our semifinalists, A, PQQ, Group B, Gangstars, Group C, Hunters, and the wild card winner from this evening, Invincible Armada. We will start semifinal play this coming Sunday. And I imagine we're about to see those matchups very soon, Valdez.
You would think so, unless it is going to be Hunters versus Invincible Armada down there. But we'll just have to wait and see. But yeah, the Korean pride remains strong. I think Gangstars and Hunters definitely two very strong teams, but even Wine himself, as you said, predicting PQQ to come through regardless. Maybe just saying that they want the revenge first and foremost. They don't really care who they face in the semifinals. They have confidence there.
Yeah, they will. But, Gangstars looking extremely strong. Hunters, even in a weaker group, thoroughly dominating. So we'll have to see who can actually pull it out here in the end. Gangstars and Hunters were 3rd and 4th place at the Worldwide Invitational. Invincible Armada first, and Divine Brothers from Japan not making a return here for this tournament.
I was actually sad about that.
Me too.
But we did get to see a bunch of other Korean teams, a Korean talent coming out of the qualifiers as well. But let's take a look now at our semifinal matchup.
Ooh, great matchup. Gangstars versus PQQ on Sunday.
Oh, boy.
And that, of course, means next Thursday will be Hunters up against Invincible Armada. And you know, Invincible Armada, they named themselves after the Spanish Armada from back in the 18th century. So the quickest way to beat them is to name yourself Horatio Lord Nelson.
Well,
Be the underdog.
maybe next season, Monte Cristo.
Win anyway.
Yeah.
History jokes are the best.
But that Gangstars PQQ matchup, Gangstars was saying they didn't want to hit either of those guys. I don't know if that's the better of the two evils or the lesser or the. I don't really know what I'm saying here. Is that the easier team or the harder team in your mind?
I don't really know. That's the thing, because we do question the pedal pick in the Invincible Armada versus PQQ.
We do.
But pretty much all of Gangstar's wins were incredibly dominating. So it should be a really exciting match. It's incredibly difficult to call who's going to win that.
Honestly, I think Gangstars would have taken out Invincible Armada, but against PQQ, I don't know. I think it could go either way.
All right, guys. Well, we'll see you for the playoffs on Sunday.